It feels like relationships overall are starting to become a thing of the past. Boy or girl, at some point we've all fantasized about the idea of being with somebody in some sort of long-term intimate relationship. That one person you could truly call your own, and for lack of better terms, the one. But even for myself, nowadays, it feels harder than ever to commit to the idea of being in a relationship. In a lot of ways, it doesn't even seem practical. And I think one of the biggest reasons for this popularized opinion is hookup culture. That mixed in with women being over-sexualized to the point where a lot of women are actually leaning into this over-sexualization just for financial gain or maybe some type of validation within themselves, whether it be in the real world or on the internet. And while doing this, preying on the mind of the weak-minded man. This is what I believe is the destruction of the core values that make a relationship work. Because if you really start to think about it, what makes a man and a woman want to get into a relationship in the first place? It's the progression of growing with someone gradually to the point where you want to slowly keep unraveling, finding more about this person, getting closer with this person over time, and that time is what builds that bond and connection. Being able to slowly become infatuated with the person you're building this bond with, leading into fantasizing what could potentially be. But with how fast everything is moving in the current day, what used to be something that was earned from both partners building into a relationship, nowadays, you'll be leaving the first day confused if you don't get to clap some cheeks. But let's be real about something. When you're dealing with acne, that can give a very serious hit to our confidence, especially when we talk about interacting with women. I know that feeling, man, when you looking in the mirror and you seeing all these breakouts on your face every day. Yeah, that's tough. But this is where my good friends over at Teach Hanley come in. They've made skincare for men so simple, especially with their new Teach Clear Acne System, designed specifically for you guys to take back control of your skin. So if you're struggling with acne, I recommend you guys start with the Level 1 system. It's gonna come with everything you need. The Acne Face Wash cleans dirt, oil, and it goes deep into your pores and keeps those clean too. Glycolic pads, this exfoliates your skin, minimize your pores, and reduce blackheads. And the good old acne serum, this fights bacteria, reduces redness, and it makes your skin stronger so you don't have to deal with acne in the future in the first place. Over 80% of men that uses Teach's systems, they've seen improvement in their skin in just 2 months. Us as men, we tend to have thicker skin, which will sometimes lead to our skin being a little bit more oily. So when you have a brand like Teach Hanley that is specifically made for helping us as men, it makes all the difference, bro. And you never have to worry about how much or how little to apply because every single box comes with one of these instruction cards. It is so easy to read. So our good people at Teach Hanley are hooking us up again. So you guys click the link in my description and get 40% off of your first box today. And you're gonna get a free gift. And then who doesn't like free? Don't waste any more time. Click the link in my description and start your skincare journey today with Teach Hanley. In the building stages of a relationship, it's only going to work if the value between each other still needs to be obtained. Let me break down exactly what I mean by this. Forget all the other superficial stuff. Let's break this down on an instinctual level. Our biological purpose as human beings is to find a partner, mate with that partner, reproduce, and raise those kids up to be strong individuals so that they can go out into the world and do the same thing one day. One of the strongest gifts that we have as human beings is the ability to be able to recreate life. That is very valuable and not something that should just be messed around with. But somewhere along the lines, people just started doing this more and more without ever even needing to be in a relationship, aka hookup culture, sleeping with anyone, having babies with anyone. So understand when I say that relationships only work when the value still needs to be obtained from one another. That if our instinctual value can be received without having to commit to one person or without having to do the hard work of getting to know somebody, why would we go ahead and then keep getting into relationships? It would be a complete waste of time, right? Or at least it would feel like it. If you had a tree that can grow unlimited money, would you still want to go work a job?
I think the surface level answer for most people would be
no. And this is what a lot of people have opted to do when it comes to relationships because of what it feels like on that surface level. There's an easier way of obtaining this value. Why would I put myself through the stress of dealing with somebody's bad energy, their baggage, their family problems, when I could just hit it, quit it, have a great time, and move on with my life. I think what's really been lost here is the overall appreciation of the value that is much deeper than what is just perceived on that surface level. Things that music doesn't glorify, the things that money can't buy. Yes, you can just go hook up with somebody and get that gratification sexually in the moment, right? But what about when you need somebody to have your back? When you need somebody that's gonna hold you down when you hit the lowest points of your life? How about somebody that you can lock in with and help each other financially as you're obtaining and reaching new goals in life? And probably one of the most important is somebody that you could have kids with, and y'all both being in that child's life, giving it the love and care that it needs to truly blossom in this world, but to not be subject to the traumas that can't really be explained when there's only one parent in the household. People are opting to take the surface level parts of what a relationship can offer rather than being in a relationship altogether. But what a lot of people are overlooking is you can't obtain the true values of what a relationship has to offer without truly being committed to at least one person. Even if we dial back the relationship and just keep things on a friendship level, would you really put your life and neck out there for somebody that you didn't really know like that? Someone that you truly haven't built a bond with like that? The answer is probably not. And that's just on a friend level. So when you put that back up on the pedestal of a relationship, are we really going out of our way for each other? Definitely not for somebody that you're just hooking up with on the side. The reality is you probably don't really care like that. You didn't have to earn those cheeks, making those cheeks not valuable. Now, I know I'm talking my shit right now, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I understand where a lot of y'all are coming from. I'm victim to it too, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm not waiting till marriage to get intimate with somebody that I like. You could argue with your mama, I could give a fuck. I'm just keeping it real. But I understand that I can't just be out here just doing degenerate shit, just sleeping with any and everybody. Because if I feed into that lifestyle, I'm not gonna be setting myself up to truly build a strong bond and relationship with a woman so one day we can invest that time and energy into raising a child together. I want that for my kids. So knowing that, hookup culture just can't be the answer. Recently, I was watching this interview with the rapper T.I. and 21 Savage. 21 Savage asked T.I., can a man be happy without committing to one woman? And T.I.'s answer, bro, it really stuck with me. Like, I felt like it was very powerful.
Do you feel like a man can be happy without one?
He can be happy until he fall on fucked up time. He gonna have a bunch of good days because you ain't gotta make no sacrifices. You ain't gotta make no compromises with nobody. It's all about what you want. So you gonna be as happy as you can make yourself. You get to, a point of old age, something happened with you in the hospital, and you know what I mean? And really, it ain't nobody else. If it's just you, bro, can you imagine if something happened to you, caught COVID, let's say cancer. Nigga can't cancel, you gotta spend all that time in the motherfucking hospital. You gonna be happy until shit like that happen.
Yeah.
That man will be happy until some bullshit happens in a freak scenario, which ultimately we don't have no control over. And if that man were to lose everything, or even worse, got, very sick and ended up in the hospital, when that happy man starts looking around for, the people that loved him, the people that he built all these relationships with, all these people that he was hooking up with and not really building a bond with, they're gonna be nowhere to be found. Ultimately, potentially putting yourself to be sitting alone in that hospital bed with no loved ones by your side. At that point, are you happy? When it comes to relationships, hookup culture, or just dealing with another person that you may like, have a crush on, whatever it may be, a lot of times we only look at it on the surface level. But you do have to take a step back and recognize that everything is an investment. And if you're gonna put any level of time, energy, intimacy into somebody, you gotta really look deeper and ask yourself, what's the worst and best case scenarios of this person that I'm dealing with? And that's just something that hookup culture just doesn't promote at all. In a world where you're looking around and nobody cares about commitment anymore, it feels like, why would I be the guy that's trying to be in a relationship or get married or do all these things when it feels like nobody gives a fuck? The easy answer is to just go with the flow and just do what everybody else is doing. But before you subscribe to that mindset, just make sure you understand that you're actually truly setting yourself up to be alone. No real relationships, no real friendships, just a whole lot of instant gratification. And that shit doesn't last very long.
Where you at, Berto?